Molly and Katherine here to share with you 20 books you don't want to miss. All of these books are new or coming out soon, so we know that you may have been missing us while we were closed for the last several months, but we are open now and we're very excited to have everyone coming back in. We're doing grab and go services from 10 to 6, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2 on Saturday, so we welcome you to come on in, pick up some new books, pick up some movies, you can use the computer lightly, and check out some new reads for the summer. Today is also the launch of our summer reading program, so there's lots of information online about that, or you can stop by and give us a call to sign up and have a chance to win some new prizes. So we're going to start off with Katherine's first pick for the first book you don't want to miss.
Yeah, I just want to say we're so excited to talk about these books. We love talking about books, and so if anybody has any questions on what to read next, always come to us and ask us what we're reading, because we all love talking books. That's why we work here. But to start off, my first book is called Little Family, and it's by Ishmael Bie. He's the author of one of my favorite memoirs, which came out in 2008. Can't believe it's over 10 years ago. Long Way Gone, and it was about an African boy in a war-torn country. So anyways, he has gone on to write a couple novels, and so this is his second novel, and it's a deeply felt, tender novel. It's set in an unnamed African country, and the narrative revolves around 5 young people whose makeshift home is an abandoned, crashed airplane hidden away from the world. They steal money and food for survival, and over the few weeks the novel covers, the quote-unquote family builds relationships with each other and questions their status within the country. This is definitely a character-driven novel with just enough backstory on each character to get your imagination going. Bie is an amazing writer, and this book will transport you back into the lives of these young people trying to find their place.
That sounds wonderful. Sounds excellent. And all of these books will be available to check out and reserve, so you can call or email the library or sign in to the catalog and reserve items that way. With each of the checkouts, you will also get a bookmark that has a full list of all of the books as well. So.
And you're going to share that?
I will. I'll share that in the comments, so you'll have a JPEG version of that as well. So my first pick is actually checked out right now, so I have a little different version of it, but this is The Knockout Queen by Ruthie Thorpe. And The Knockout Queen is a darkly comic and beautiful story of 2 young people aching for connection in the California suburbs. Bunny Lambert is the princess of the North Shore, beautiful, rich, and an impressive athlete, but also with guarded secrets that she hides from the world. Her neighbor Michael masquerades as a straight man during the day and searches through understanding through anonymous encounters by night. Together, they find friendships and fight the vicious strains of gossip that threaten both of their carefully constructed lives. This is a really interesting read with incredibly well-written characters, if you like a character-driven novel, and also young characters. So I enjoyed it because some of the people reminded me of people that I know and some of my friends. But very interesting, excellent, well-written book.
I know I have my name on that one.
Yes, this one's a popular one, so put your name on it quick.
Okay, my next one is called Shiner, and again, this one is checked out as well. But this was one that I recently finished, and the book takes place in West Virginia, a mining town, and spans 2 generations of mountain folk. It's rich with epic love and epic loss, and it goes deep into rural America with dark secrets and unforgettable, full of life characters. It's gritty, it's edgy, and entirely readable. This novel kept me engrossed in a different place and world. I'd highly recommend this book to anyone who loved Where the Crawdads Sing.
And I promise I will read it very quickly so we can move it on to the next person on the list. All right, my next pick is Sea Wife by Amity Gage. When a young family decides to escape suburbia for a year-long sailing trip with their 2 children, a risky desire for adventure turns into a survival at sea. Told in gripping dual perspectives, Sea Wife alternates between Juliet's struggles after the life-changing events at sea and Michael's Captain's Log, which provides a careful, moment-by-moment account of these same events. A story of love, marriage, family, and escape, The Sea Wife manages to be both grippingly emotional and optimistic. This is a great combination of a thriller and a family drama, so you really get the best of both worlds in a really readable, wonderful story that has quite a few twists and turns in it. So a little bit of adventure, a little bit of family, but you really won't be able to put it down.
Looks good. Takes place in the water, too.
So if you're a fan of the boats and being out on the water and maybe don't want to go sailing in the survival story at sea, but it's a great family story otherwise.
My next book is Pizza Girl, and this is a debut novel. It's a coming-of-age story about a pregnant pizza delivery girl who becomes obsessed with one of her customers. It's a moving and funny portrait of a flawed yet unforgettable young woman as she tries to find her place in the world. I love the saucy narrator, even if she was slightly dysfunctional. It's darkly funny, unapologetic, and it's a very quick read. Can't wait to see what's next from this debut author.
It sounds like it'd be a great beach read if you're looking for something very humorous and light. So speaking of beach reads, I actually just finished this book at the beach this past weekend. I was looking for a really nice light read. This one I found myself kind of giggling to as I read through it. So this is Happy as And You Know It by Laura Hankin. Hilariously dark and witty story, Happy You Know It follows a struggling young musician who takes a job singing for a playgroup of overprivileged babies and their effortlessly cool moms, only to find herself pulled into their glamorous lives and dangerous secrets and gossip. Providing an inside look at wealth, social media, and motherhood in the modern age, this is a great read for fans of the Nanny Diaries or anyone looking for a twisty and gossipy beach read. Just made me think of a lot of the Instagrammers that I see out there and the mommy bloggers, and kind of a behind-the-scenes look at it. And the narrator in here comes from a little bit of a rough background, so she has some interesting perspectives on the world. So Happy and You Know It, Laura Hankin.
Okay. This one definitely is not like Happy and You Know It. It's the opposite. It's a crime thriller. It's two sisters, once inseparable, and they're living in very different lives amidst the opiate crisis in a Philadelphia neighborhood. One sister goes missing and the other makes it her mission to find out where she is. It's very suspenseful. It's uncomfortable at times, with the backdrop of the crisis of opiate addiction, but it's a fast read with depth and sensitivity. It's dark, it's realistic, and this book will appeal to people who like crime thrillers with a slow burn.
One of those books you can really sink your teeth into. All right, the next book, you may recognize this author, Erik Larson. He's been very, very popular in the past. He wrote the books Deadwake and The Devil in the White City. This is his newest book, The Splendid and the Vile. This is a saga of Churchill, family, and defiance during the Blitz. Erik Larson returns in this intimate chronicle of Winston Churchill in London during the Blitz. Carefully researched and deeply insightful, The Splendid and the Vile paints a portrait of Churchill's early days as Prime Minister as you've never seen him before. A must-read for history buffs, those interested in World War II, and others interested in a fascinating nonfiction read. Anyone who's read Erik Larson will agree it's like nothing you've ever read before. His fast-paced storytelling, incredibly detailed but well-wrought story.
It really reads like fiction, even though it's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for anyone just joining us, all of these books are available to reserve. You can call or email the library or place a reserve by logging into the library catalog with your borrower barcode. We are still doing curbside pickup, and we are also open from 10 to 6 Monday through Thursday and 10 to 2 on Saturdays for grab-and-go services.
All right, moving on. Fast Girls. And so we're just talking about Churchill. This one is not out yet. It's due out in July, and I cannot wait to read it. It's a novel of the 1936 Olympic team. 3 athletes will join others to defy society's expectations of what women can achieve. Set in a time of history with tensions bringing the U.S. and Europe closer and closer to the brink of war, these women must fight for a chance to compete in the Nazi-sponsored 1936 Olympics in Berlin. This book is perfect for readers who love untold stories of amazing, strong women.
Sounds excellent. And that one is coming soon. So you can place a reserve ahead of time so that when it comes in, we'll have a little bit of a wait list on it. But we are really excited about that one to be coming in soon. And we have new books coming in every single day. We've got plenty that have been hanging out on the shelves, lonely, waiting for people to check them out. So come on by. My next book is My Dark Vanessa, and dark it is. Elizabeth Kate Russell delivers a fascinating story exploring the psychological dynamics of the relationship between a precocious yet naive teenager and her magnetic and manipulative and much older teacher. This is a brilliant, all-consuming read that marks the explosive debut of an extraordinary new writer. Darkly haunting and relevant, My Dark Vanessa is hard to put down and stays with you long after you've finished. I really enjoyed this story because it also goes back and forth in time, both when she was a teen and then dealing with issues as she has grown up. And you can never quite trust the narrator and never quite trust the story until you know all the details. So that's My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell.
Oh, that one sounds good. I'm going to have to get my name on that one, too.
Yeah, great if you like stories like The Girl on the Train or Gone Girl, that
fast,
a little bit of an unreliable narrator, fast-paced, psychologically twisty.
Yep. All right, my next read I am reading right now. I tried to get it done in time to do a full review of it, but it's Sue Monk Kidd's new book, and it takes place in the time of Jesus. The writing is just amazing. I had to slow. I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to finish it, but I slowed down so I could savor the story. The story does narrate part of Jesus' human life and historical journey, but it's not about Jesus. It's about his fictional wife, Anna, a strong, independent thinking woman who's so often overlooked in this time period. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I highly recommend it to a historical fiction reader and anybody who loved The Red Tent.
Sounds fascinating. We have a comment from a viewer who said that she loved that one, so we've got 2 recommendations on that one now. So my next book, you can kind of tell, sometimes you can tell by the cover if it's going to be a fun one. Next book is The Big Finish by Brooke Fossey. This is perfect for fans of A Man Called Ove and Where'd You Go, Bernadette. The Big Finish teams up a grumpy old curmudgeon, you can see him on the back of the bike there, with a troubled young woman in need of protection. As their unlikely friendship grows, Duffy Sinclair is pulled out of his comfortable existence and into an adventure filled with hitchhiking and bar hopping. A funny and insightful look at growing old and learning to love the unexpected. It's a wonderful read for a hot summer's day like today.
That sounds good too.
And I love the cover art.
Yeah.
Very fun book.
Yeah. All right, my next one is It All Comes Back to You. We just recently did a book discussion on this book. But Beth delivers us an elderly character that will charm you from the beginning. The book will pull at all of your heartstrings from love to hate and keep you wanting more. 1947 prom queen Violet still captivates all who surround her in 2012. Upon her death, she leaves a nice inheritance to Ronnie, a nurse she loved like a daughter. What Ronnie uncovers will have you question how one singular moment can alter an entire life. Very entertaining. You'll never see the end coming.
I love a good surprise ending. Makes it worth it when you're working your way through the pages. Okay, my next one is Conjure Women. This is a story of a mother and daughter with a shared talent for healing and for the conjuring of curses. Is at the heart of this dazzling first novel. This is a debut novel. We've got a couple books in here that are debuts, so that's the first book that this author has ever written. Something very, very fun. If you enjoy the book, it's always great to look forward to the next things that they write. This one in particular spans eras and generations in the world of the South before and after the Civil War. It tells the lives of 3 unforgettable women and the secrets and bonds that they share. When an accursed child is born just after the war ends, the townspeople explode in fear and superstition that threatens their newly won freedom. An excellent pick for fans of family sagas and historical fiction. This is one of the few historical fictions I think we have on the list, so definitely.
No, I have a couple.
Oh, you've got a couple.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite genres.
Yep. Okay. My next one is called The Waterkeeper, and it's by Charles Martin. He is one of my go-to authors. He writes with lyrical and poignant prose, so this one is definitely on my summer reading list. I have not read it yet, but he writes with tension and real characters. This particular book takes place in Florida with a master boatman helping track down bad guys. Along the way, he picks up passengers and helps them. There's a Labrador dog who plays a key role. I was excited to read that. And he helps bring the story to life with energy, stamina, and loyalty. I can't wait to get my hands on this one.
Sounds like a great book to read while you've got your feet in the lake, enjoying the weather.
Yeah, doesn't it look like it? Yeah.
So my next book that is actually checked in right now and available to reserve and check out, one of the few ones that's still on the shelf ready to go. This was one of my favorite nonfiction picks out of this entire list, partially because it does not read like nonfiction. Even describing it, it sounds like a riveting fiction read. But this is The Third Rainbow Girl, The Long Life of a Double Murder in Appalachia by Emma Copley Eisenberg. So it's a great pick for true crime and mystery fans, both fiction and nonfiction. It's a stunningly written investigation of the murder of two young women that shows how a violent crime casts a shadow over an entire community. False accusations, deep suspicions, and unanswered questions plague the small town in Pocahontas County, West Virginia, for years and turns neighbor against neighbor in a lasting fear of outsiders. The author actually spent years living in the area, researching and investigating all of the details of this case. So very, very well researched. Again, it reads just like a fiction story.
Sounds like a great true crime one.
Mm-hmm,
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's The Third Rainbow Girl. Again, checked in, ready to go. Place your
Okay.
reserves.
All right, my second to last one, we're getting down there, is The Daughters of Erie-Town, and it's by Connie Schultz. This is her debut novel, but she's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. It takes place in the 50s and 60s in the Midwest, and she's got surprisingly complex characters for a first-time writer, with themes of family, feminism, racial and gender equality, and the dignity of the working class. It explores how much people really know about each other and pretend not to, and the secrets that explode lives. So yeah,
Sounds like
one.
a lot to unpack in that one. Excellent. Okay. My next book is Saint X by Alexis Dakin. Claire is only 7 years old when her college-age sister disappears during a family vacation in the Caribbean. When her body turns up and two local men are arrested, the story turns into national tabloid news, but the mystery ultimately remains unsolved and the men are released. The story and the broken lives within her family becomes a shadow that haunts younger sister Claire into adulthood. When an opportunity to reinvestigate one of the accused men crosses her plate, Claire's childhood haunt turns into an obsession that she will stop at nothing to uncover. So a little bit of mystery, a little bit of family, a little bit of coming-of-age story. Very, very interesting read.
That sounds good too. Well, all right, my last one for today is definitely a lighter read. The last time that Molly and I had done one of these, I got chastised that I had no light reads on my list. So this is another debut novel, but it's on Good Morning America's 25 novels of the summer list. It's a family novel about a summer home on Cape Cod told through 3 siblings. It's tender and compassionate, incisive and heartbreaking, perfect for readers of J. Courtney Sullivan and Ellen Hildebrand. A good family drama, perfect for the beach.
Sounds like a great pick when you need something light and quick. All right, my final book is one of my favorite books on the list. It's very, very different, and that was what I loved most about it. This is nonfiction.
Another one.
Yeah, it's another one. I had a few on the list. And this is also a little bit of a true crime. I tried to mix it up and add some nonfiction true crime. We've got a lot of mystery fans, a lot of thrillers, and I think sometimes reading a true story just kind of is the icing on the cake. So The Falcon Thief is a vibrant true crime adventure like you've never seen before. The book follows the parallel lives of a globe-trotting smuggler who spent 2 decades capturing and smuggling endangered raptors. It is also the story of Detective Andy McWilliam, who is determined to protect the birds of prey against all odds. Sweeping from the volcanoes of Patagonia to Zimbabwe and to the frigid tundra near the Arctic Circle, this cat and mouse tale will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end. It's a great pick for adventure fans who are looking for something a little bit out of the box. Also great for mysteries, thrillers, even an espionage type story. This is another one of those nonfiction books that just reads just like a best-selling fiction.
Yep, that sounds great.
Yeah, very enjoyed that.
So there you go, 20 books in a little over 20 minutes.
We were close.
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah,
But again, we'll put in the comments the bookmark, all the books that we've talked about today, and we've started to do one of these every month. I think the next month will not be Molly and I, it will be Kaylee and Jill, and it'll be 20 thrilling reads.
So if you like some of the thrillers on our list, you can get the full list from them.
Yep, that'll be next month.
Yes, and all of these books, again, are available for checkout and reserve. You can reserve by phone, by email, or by logging into your library account and placing a reserve that way. And we are open again. We just recently opened the doors, and it's very exciting. Summer reading also started today, so you can pick up some of these books and start reading them as part of the summer reading program. So thanks everybody for tuning in today.
Thank you. Have a great day.